What's up, guys? It's Mike Dussault, Paul Perillo from Patriots.com. We're back here to wrap up day 2 of the NFL draft. Patriots making 2 picks, addressing defense with both. Starting, they traded up to get Christian Barmore, sticking with the Alabama guys. Paul, it seems like the Patriots send a message here. They've really revamped their defensive front.
Yeah, well, the thing that really sticks out to me is the enormous amount of trouble they've had stopping the run, really the last 2 seasons, but it really was exacerbated last year when they just couldn't get off the field on a consistent basis. They had real troubles getting those stops that they needed in short yardage and long yardage. It didn't matter. I think they were 26th in the league last year stopping the run. You get a guy in Barmore. A lot of guys think, no question, he was the best defensive tackle available, but a lot of guys thought he was a first-round pick, Mike. So I think this represented a real good value, not necessarily a huge need because of all the work they did in free agency, but a really, really good football player.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I think his pass rush right away. I mean, you talk about Adam Butler leaving. I mean, he can go right into that role, make an instant impact. I mean, I think his ceiling probably determined how well he can, kind of get up to speed stopping the run. But no question. I mean, not a great class. Everybody kind of thought went defensively, but Patriots making a splash there with Barmore a little bit. Then coming back in the 3rd round, Ronnie Perkins, an edge rusher from Oklahoma. Another guy, it looks like, we're adding defense here, can get after the quarterback. Seems like he might have a little bit of a ceiling if he can develop.
Yeah, a good motor and a good pass rusher. I think he's a little bit more inconsistent against the run, but he's a guy that has been able to get after the passer a little bit. 16.5 career sacks in Norman. So I think the edge was an area that both of us agreed was a spot the Patriots could look at in this draft. We just didn't think really that the edge guys were the high-end value was there. And that makes sense when you go for a guy late in the 3rd, 96th overall. A lot of guys had Perkins as sort of a 2nd/3rd round kind of guy. So to get him at the end of the 3rd for a guy who you thought might go at the top of the 3rd, that's probably a pretty good pick. And I look forward to seeing how he fits into the Patriots, schemes. I think looks like, based on the draft experts, I always like to give them the credit because I'm not pretending to be a draft expert, but a lot of guys think he's a fit in a 4-3 as an edge kind of guy. Let's see how he looks in the Patriots system.
Yeah, I mean, not going to lie, Paul, a little bit surprised. It's just I think there are other needs that they still kind of need to hit. They still have some picks left for day 3. We know those picks are a little bit of a flyer, if you will. What do you just kind of see in terms of positions in need that might need to be addressed here as they round the corner into day 3?
I'm totally with you, Mike. I'm a little disappointed, not in the players they picked, but in the players they didn't pick. I thought wide receiver was an area, we've been talking about it. You and I have been lockstep on this throughout the process. There have been so many good wide receivers taken in the 2nd and 3rd round over the last couple of years. I thought there were a lot of guys that would have really, really been productive players in their offense. They looked like they had the kinds of skills, from Elijah Moore to Terrace Marshall, Amari Rogers. There's a lot of different kinds, even some other players that maybe others don't like as much. A Nico Collins type of guy from Michigan, an outside guy that you and I really weren't in love with. But there were a lot of wide receivers that got taken in the 2nd and 3rd round. When the Patriots moved up in the 2nd round, I thought it might be for one of those wide receivers. I'm not disappointed in Christian Barmore because I think he's a really, really good football player, but I am disappointed they didn't add to that wide receiver core.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and, we also talked a lot about the tackle position, the cornerback position, spots where you have, 2 starters on each of those positions that are going to be free agents next year. So we'll see if they can build some depth tomorrow. Day 3, Saturday, we'll wrap this draft up. But for now, that will do it for here. Day 2 of the draft, Patriots taking Mac Jones in round 1, adding a couple defensive players here in day 2. We'll see what they do in day 3. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Mike Dussault, Paul Perillo. We'll see you guys then.